Hey everyone, this is Mr. W again, and we're going to talk about writing decimals in different forms. And with that being said, we're just going to talk about word form. Word form is simply how to say a decimal using words. So we're going to convert word form into standard form, and we'll show you how to do standard form into word form. Okay. So as you notice on the top, it is in word form. It says 1 6/10. So I'm going to show you how to use annotation to easily and correctly convert word form into standard form. But in this sense, when you see the word and will tell you that you have a whole number. And whatever is in front of the word and, that's your whole number. So in this case, 1 is in front of the word and. That means 1 is your whole number. Then you have 6/10. That means you're going to the 10th place, and 6 goes in the 10th place. And I'll show you in a second how to correctly annotate it. Okay, so this is how you convert word form to standard form. Okay, look at this, 94 and 208 thousandths. Your first step is highlight any keywords that tell you the decimal place value. So for example, I highlighted thousandths. If it says tenths, hundredths, or thousandths, remember ends in THS, highlight that. That will tell you how many shelves you need to put and tell you how many spots after the decimal you have to go. In this case, it's thousandths, so we have to go 3 spots. Now, and you highlight the word and because that signifies that you're going to have a whole number. Okay, so again, as it says, highlight the decimal place value keyword, which we did, which is thousandths, and we highlighted the word and. Now, above the word and, we put a decimal point, okay? Because again, and tells you that we're going to have a whole number. Whatever is in front of the word and is your whole number. So 94 is your whole number. So to annotate more, above 94, I put the digits that make 94, which is a 9 and a 4. That's how you write 94. So I write that above 94. Then, where it says 208, so that is right in front of our decimal place value word, I put the digits that make up that number, 208, 208. So I put that above 208. Now, I put our 3 shelves, 1, 2, 3. This is the tenths, hundredths, thousandths. I do 3 shelves because it's the thousandths place value. That was our key word. Now, since I had a whole number, which because I have the word and, 94 goes in front of the decimal, and that 8 needs to go into thousands place, and then I fill in the rest to make it 94 and 208 thousandths. Okay. Now, here is an example to do standard to word form. Now, this is 3 and 409 thousandths. So, since I have a whole number, I'm going to use the word and. Okay, your decimal is your word and. And then I have 3 places after the decimal, so I'm going to use the word thousandths. So I know I'm going to have the word and. I'm going to use the word thousandths. So it's 3 and 409 thousandths. Or you can write it like that. So here are some examples of how to do this with annotation. Okay. So the first key is the first thing we want to do is we want to highlight keywords. Okay, I'm going to highlight in pink. So I have a hundredths. So instead of highlighting it, I'm going to box it. Okay, usually I highlight it, but I'm going to box it. So I'm going to box hundredths and I'm going to box and. Okay. Now, since I have hundredths, I'm going to draw my shelf. So I do my decimal. And hundredths place is 2 spots after the decimal. So I put 2 shelves after the decimal. Now, since I have the word and, I know that I'm going to have a whole number. Now, in front of the word and is a 3. So I'm going to put a 3 above the word 3. And since it's in front of the word and, that's my whole number. So I'm going to put it in front of the decimal. Now, in front of that hundredths, it's 24. So I'm going to put a 2 and a 4 to make 24. Now that 4 needs to go in the hundredths. So I put a 4 in the hundredths, and I put a 2 in the tenths, and there's 3 and 24 hundredths. Let's go to the next one, 12 hundredths. Okay, I'm going to now I usually highlight, but I'm going to box it this time. I'm going to box my keyword, so you can either box it or you can highlight it. I box hundredths. That is my decimal place value keyword. So when I see hundredths, I know I need to write my decimal, and then I need to put 2 spots after the decimal, because hundredths is 2 places after the decimal. Above the word 12, I write the digits that make 12. Now that last digit is a 2. That last digit needs to go in the hundredths. So I put a 2 in the hundredths place, and I put a 1 in the tenths. And since I don't have the word and, I'm not going to have a whole number. So in front of the decimal, I need to put a 0. So there is 12 hundredths. Let's do a few more. Okay. Okay. Let's look at this one. 4 and 32 thousandths. 4 and 32 thousandths. Okay. I'm going to look for my keyword for the decimal place value, and it's thousandths. Okay. And I look, I also have an and. Okay. And we know if we're working with decimals and I see the word and, I'm going to have a whole number. So since I have and, I'm going to put a decimal above the word and. So I write my decimal, and then thousandths is 3 places after the decimal. So I got to do 3 shelves. Okay. Now above the word 4, I'm going to write a 4. And above 32, I'm going to write 3 and a 2 for 32. Now that last digit for 32 is a 2, and that needs to go into thousandths. So I go to my shelves, and I know thousandths is 3 spots after the decimal. So I put a 2 there. I got to put a 3 in the hundredths to make the 32. And in the tenths place, I have to put a 0. So if you look, it's 32 thousandths. But remember, I have an and whatever is in front of the word and is our whole number. So our whole number is 4. 4 and 32 hundredths. Let's look at the next one. 94 and 208 thousandths. Again, I look for those keywords. My decimal place value keyword is thousandths. But I also have an and an and tells me that I'm going to have a whole number. So I'm going to put my decimal above the word and. So for thousandths, I know it's 3 places after the decimal. So I write my decimal, and I do 3 shelves. The same thing that we've been doing. We've heard for our annotations. Above 94, I write a 9 and a 4 for 94. And for 208, I write 2, 0, 8. Now, again, we have a whole number. The keyword is and. Put a 94 in front of the decimal, because since it's in front of the word and, that is our whole number. Anything that comes before and in front of and is our whole number. Now for 208, that 8 needs to go into thousandths. So I put an 8 in the thousandths, 0 in the hundredths, 2 in the tenths. So it's 94 and 208 thousandths. Okay. I'm going to show you one more example where there's no whole number. Okay, I want to show you one more example where you're not going to have a whole number. So we're going to skip this one right here. So let's look at the one at the bottom. It's 504 thousandths. Again, look for your decimal place value keyword. It is thousandths. Remember, you want to look for that THS. So you highlight or box that decimal place value word. In this case, it's thousandths. And I know thousandths is, I write my decimal. It's 3 spots after the decimal, so I'm going to write 3 shelves. Now, my number is 504. How do you write 504? 504. 504. Do you see you don't have the word and here? So since you don't have the word and, there's no whole number, so you put a 0 in front of the decimal. For 504, that 4 needs to go in the thousands. So I put the 4 in the thousands, a 0 in the hundredths, and the 5 in the tenths. And that's how you write 504 thousandths. So again, if you see the word and, that tells you you're going to have a whole number, and whatever comes before the word and is your whole number. You don't see the word and, there's no whole number. You put a 0 in front of the decimal. So this is turning word form into standard form. Thank you for watching. Have an awesome day.